What does ready mean anymore?
Welcome back to Happy Go Lucky, where I'm cheery and he's happy.
Yeah, like the modern version of the Odd Couple.
Yeah. Uh, Except it's mostly just dumb. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, so here we are. Here we are, yet another Wednesday of the lock-in, the lockdown. The get to see my family
I'm
a
not
lot.
exaggerating. Sorry.
I don't know. I got nothing. What?
As this guy, I literally am losing track of days. Like this morning, I was laying in bed and I was thinking to myself, man, I can't believe it's Monday. I don't know if I can stand another week of this crap. And then I was like, oh wait, it's Wednesday. And then I was like, oh, who cares? What's the difference?
There's a news station out of Cleveland, and they kind of went viral for this thing. They have a segment
Mhm.
every day where a guy just walks up and goes, "It's Tuesday," or whatever the day is.
Nice. That's actually really smart.
It's
That's
actually
good.
helpful.
That's good.
The only thing keeping me grounded is I know that trash day is Thursday, and so I got to drag my little cans down to the street.
Is that what
Otherwise,
you're
it's gonna be
calling
bad.
yourself? Your little cans.
Yeah,
Does your wife say, Brad, get your little cans in here?
yeah.
Whew. Anywho.
Anyways, so the basement project post went up yesterday.
Yeah,
That
nice.
was
Nice.
people seemed. My biggest fear with all this was that I post it and somebody'd look. I'd be like, "Oh, you couldn't do it that way. That's your whole house is
Yeah,
gonna fall
yeah,
down."
you did something wrong. But you didn't have any. It wasn't like you were like supporting the ceiling in a new
No,
way or
there
anything
was
like that.
no
Yeah,
structural.
structural.
Yeah, it was all vanity might be a little lightly putting it, but it was nothing. I wasn't moving load-bearing walls by any means. So
Yeah, but I'll say again what I said at the time. I mean, it looks to me like you did an amazing job at that. Really,
appreciate that.
I mean, it looks great.
So far, it's worked out exceptionally well. Given the
Yeah.
really, I just need to make it through this pandemic, and then after that, I feel like I've accomplished everything that needed to be done because my wife and I can stay separated, but not separated. If that makes sense.
Yeah, the pandemic will end and you'll be able to go outside and be around other people. And you're like, no, I'm watching TV down in my cellar.
Yeah,
Sports are on.
the sport. It doesn't matter what sport
like,
comes
sorry.
back. It's like I am watching curling, and I'm going to watch all of it. That's all that
Yep.
matters. Although they did say that there might be starting golf back up in June. That's going to be
Yeah, golf is one of the ones I think makes a ton of sense. No crowd
Yeah.
golf. Like I think that
Oh,
would
it's
be.
even better that there's no crowd. There's nobody screaming. Like this is.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like to play golf. That's how I like to watch golf. I
Sure.
should just like I would pay extra money to like stream golf where there's no fans. Like that'd be
Yeah.
ideal.
Well, I mean, so a lot of people like myself are watching older sporting events now
Yeah,
on
I am
TV,
too.
right? Because there's nothing new. So I will say in my short time, I went through a couple of years, a long time ago, where I was kind of into golf and we took golf lessons, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And I used to watch this thing. At the time, it was like 30 years old, probably. I think it was in the 60s, but it was like like Shell Oil World of Golf or something like that.
Mhm.
And it was often in black and white because it was that old. And back then, there were no crowds. Like there was just
Yeah.
guys golfing, and it was really soothing. Like it
Yeah.
was, yeah. I mean, I kind of get that. So I'm sure that's on TV somewhere.
Yeah. Other things that were they weren't on the TV, but they were on the internet. OnePlus announced the latest high-end phone, which is high-end and getting higher priced, which is kind of
Yeah, they really.
that was their whole thing, wasn't it? Was that they made a high-quality phone for a good quality price, and now they're
Yeah, but I mean, the dream for these companies, I guess, is always to make this step. I mean, Google tried to do it when they went from Nexus to Pixel, right? I mean, and I think in doing so, they've alienated some portion of their fan base because, that, like you said, that is one of the draws, or has been. I mean, but this is, I didn't actually. Well, this is either the single biggest or the second single biggest price increase they've ever had year over year. It's a little tough because they're in that space where Apple has a $750 new phone and they're about to announce a $350 phone, which I know is not exactly the same class, but seriously, like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like all of a sudden they need to go back and introduce a new lower cost model.
Yeah.
It's like the car thing. Car models seem to get bigger every year, and then eventually you don't have like a small car anymore. So then you add a little one in there. So like a Honda used to, the Civic used to be the small one, and then the Civic got bigger and bigger, and now they have like a Fit or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
and that kind of slots in underneath it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
And they look good.
It looks great. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with the phone, at least on the paper. But
Right.
it's just, to your point, they're getting into like traditional company territory, which is a dangerous place to.
Even like the Pixel 4, and which I've started using again because I'm going through all my old phones now. And
I thought you were going to say because I'm going through a phase.
It is a phase. And I'm actually probably going to post that article actually right after this probably. But at $9.99, which is how much my phone cost, and it started at $8.99 at the time. It's way too much money for a Pixel, but those phones are $300 off right now. So at $5.99 or $4.99, I think for the smaller one, not bad. And that makes the OnePlus thing a little confusing because as hard as it would be to recommend a Pixel at $1,000, once it's like $800 or whatever I said, $700, $600, $700, it's like, why would you buy a OnePlus?
Yeah.
It looks, like I said, it looks great. I really like OnePlus. I'll look at it. We'll see.
We'll see. There's a lot of phones to choose from anymore. There's no like standout like Victor anymore.
By the way, I think it's kind of fascinating that Apple, which has a deserved reputation for being a really premium brand and having very expensive products, has done something with iPad where they brought the price down a lot and all of a sudden it starts selling again. I think that was smart and kind of contrary to what they typically do. But they're about to release a new phone. Now, I know it's an older design and smaller screen and everything, but if this thing really comes out at like $350, I mean, that's a game changer. Like and these are two examples of Apple products, company you don't really associate with low cost. They used to just sell old phones, as their low entry level. That was their strategy. Now they have, new insides, all the new components. I mean, it's smart.
I don't think we mentioned this yesterday, but Apple's supposedly going to be releasing a cheaper HomePod, which.
Yeah, which they need. And Apple, again, they're curious. Why did they wait so long?
Yeah. But at the same time, I believe you can buy a Sonos One SL for $100.
Oh, is that true? Oh, that's great. I know they're on sale right now. I think the normal Sonos one might be $150 or something. But I just looked at these because I kind of want to get some rear speakers for the living room, and they sell like a full set where it's like the beam and rear, the rears, or the beam plus the sub and the rears, and like if you do the math, like it's still expensive, but like the sets are significantly less expensive than if you bought all that stuff normally.
Yeah, so through 18. Oh, it says out of stock though, so you may not be able to get it.
But
it was a
deal.
Sonos One, not even the One SL, but a Sonos One for $100, which is a very good deal.
No, it's incredible. That's the price of those IKEA speakers that are kind of the same innards, but I like that the IKEAs are cheaper, but I like the form factor of the Sonos better. So if you could get the Sonos at the same price, I would just get the Sonos.
Yep.
So where was this?
AT&T.
I was curious. Okay, but they're gone.
Yeah. So there you go.
I want to say the Sonos ones were $150 on sale.
Yeah, and then I think the usual ones are like $179 or something like that. So
you get two.
Quite a bit cheaper. Although
if you need two, you can get. I think I don't remember what the price was, but
there's supposed to be like a Sonos event or something. I think next month. Like where I think they're going to update not the beam, but the play bar. I think is supposed to be getting. One. And I'll be very curious to see if they do something with like Dolby Atmos, because I would be potentially very interested in doing that in my basement.
Yeah.
The big question would be if that bar is like, we have an entertainment cabinet, and if it's too big for that thing, then I may not be able to do it, but we'll see.
Well, depending on how you do things. I mean, mine just sits on a little cabinet thing, so the size doesn't matter. I could picture getting rid of that, and you could just mount it on the wall below the TV. That would work too.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be mounting. Well, I guess I could mount it all on the wall, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do that or not.
Yeah, you'd require some construction for cables and stuff.
Yeah, and we bought a nice little entertainment center flatter thingy, whatever. I don't know. We'll see.
The Sonos thing is actually kind of interesting. I was just thinking about this in terms of like the Intel NUC that I have, where I bought this thing, or in this case it's a review unit, but I bought the Sonos Beam, and you kind of use these things, and you think to yourself, well, maybe at some time in the future I'll kind of write up what it's been like, and there's nothing to write. It's like it just shows up every day, it works great, there's no problems, it's fine, and the Sonos Beam is like that. Like it's just, we go in there and watch TV every day. It sounds great just by itself. I mean, we don't have any other speakers. It's like, it's hard to evaluate something like that because it sounds awesome. Like it's just good.
Yeah.
And it always works.
Yeah, it does. They do work well. There's not much about it. The other minor thing on the agenda is that GitHub is making but some of their premium services now free. So if you've been paying for a GitHub account, you might be able to get that for free now. So. Yeah,
and if you've been paying for kind of a higher end account, I guess you might be paying a lot less. I think they've also reduced prices on some of their offerings. I don't quite understand the whole GitHub premium scheme, but
more repositories, more collaboration.
Yeah. So I guess a lot of the collab stuff is free now for smaller teams and so forth.
Yep. And then Microsoft also is renaming, to no surprise, Office 365 Groups to, well, you guessed it, Microsoft 365 Groups. So
I thought you were going to say something like Microsoft Glick. It's just some random name.
Microsoft Buckets.
Yeah. Because, it's Microsoft and whatnot.
Yeah. It's been a few weeks. They haven't renamed something. So here we are. And then I think it's April 10th. Did that day already pass or something? Or was it?
Yes, it did already pass.
Yes, it did.
Why, whoa.
Well, when was the Minecraft thing that was rolling out?
Oh.
The RTX beta.
The thing that makes it look more realistic?
Yeah. Oh, April 16th. 16th, yeah. So tomorrow.
So tomorrow.
If you have an RTX-enabled graphics card, that might be of some vague interest to you.
Right.
I don't, actually, so.
No, I don't either. I was just thinking, I've been meaning to do like a gaming PC thing for a while now, but I'm so unenthusiastic about everything. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
Call of Duty is basically how I'm getting through the pandemic, folks. Like, it's just, you take that away from me, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
Or who I'm going to do it to. So, you just want to be careful about that stuff.
All right. Do you got anything else for today, Paul?
No, just the Pixel thing. Like I said, I'll put that up this morning. No, that's about it.
Fantastic. That's all I got. We'll catch all of you right back here next time.
Yeah, next time.